Writing a book is a pretty exciting process, and when you finally hit that publish button, it feels like such a great achievement. Now comes the marketing side, where you have to get as many readers for your book as possible. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 strategies you can use to sell more books so you get them in the hands of more readers and you turn your new book into an income stream. We'll talk about that in this video right now. If you want more like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notified when we come out with videos just like this one. So the first strategy to sell more books is to create an opt-in for your book. I like to do the first 1 to 3 chapters of a book for free. Use that as an opt-in, and then at the end of this 1 to 3 chapter free preview, there's a call to action that invites people to buy the book if they want the rest of the chapters. I also include this at the very beginning of the book. Now, the thing about offering 1 to 3 chapters of your book, it definitely depends on your book length. So some people, if you only have 5 chapters in your book, that's where it makes sense to only offer 1 or even part of the first chapter instead of the entire chapter. So it definitely varies based on that. But the idea is that you're getting people to read the book, getting people to enjoy it, and then you say if you want the rest of the book, make sure you get your copy. This opt-in page accomplishes a few different things. It gets people used to reading your books, but it also grows your email list, one of the most vital assets you can have as an author to get more sales. Each book should be able to grow your email list, and it just snowballs from there, making each new release more successful. So make sure you have that in place, and it's kind of similar to what Amazon already does for your book, because they have that free preview feature, which lets you see in the neighborhood of 10% of the book that you've released. So people can already see a lot of your book's contents for free without buying your book. You're just turning it now into a free opt-in to grow your email list, get new readers who are interested in the free chapter or chapters that you offer, and then have a natural segue into buy the book. The second way to boost your sales is to simply write more books. A lot of self-published authors, they attribute this strategy to increasing their sales, because if you write your first book, you're going to get some customers when you apply marketing strategies, but then that's where the conversation stops for those people, because you only have one book and the customer isn't going to buy multiple copies of the same book. When you create and publish your second book, that introduces the concept of returning customers. And each new book you publish gives your customers more opportunities to buy from you again and again. So when you get to the point where you publish book number 10 or book number 20, you have a really strong catalog for someone who finds you for the first time and decides they like your book and then says, I want to buy more from this author. Publishing books in similar genres also really helps. That you don't want to have too many topics scattered around that don't really connect with each other. I do a lot of digital marketing and self-publishing related books. It's in the same ballpark. There are other people who they have multiple pen names because they cover different genres. They don't want all of that to mesh under the same pen name, so they create multiple pen names in order to reach multiple audiences and have specific focuses instead of having a broad catch-all author name that covers all of their work. You see this more often in fiction versus nonfiction, but it is something to consider deeper in the process. Right now, just focus on publishing your first book, publishing a few of them, and then when you're at the point where you're publishing several books each year, that may be the point to entertain getting another pen name to create more specific categories for your work. The third strategy we're going to talk about is to partner with other authors. Every author has the same goal: get more sales for the book, generate more revenue. Now, authors have different ways to achieve that goal, but they're more than happy to work together if it means everybody gets to win at the end. So, what you should do is start networking with authors in your industry who are at a similar playing field. The new author who reaches out to someone who is averaging thousands of sales per day, it's a pretty one sided relationship, assuming that even comes to fruition. It's easier to work with authors who are making a few sales per day and being able to collaborate with them. They're more open to those types of opportunities. The bigger you get as an author, the less time you have, and also the more people who are just approaching you with general pitches and opportunities and collaborations, and some of that being very one sided. So, one of my favorite ways to build relationships with authors is through hosting the Breakthrough Success podcast. I enjoy interacting with authors on my show. We provide great value for the listeners. It is a really great dynamic. You can also jump into Facebook groups and interact with authors there. There's a really good group that I'm a part of called 20 Books to 50K. The whole concept is you write 20 books and that's enough to hit $50,000. Doesn't always happen in practice, but you have some people in that group who they make six figures on less than 20 books. So the name in the 20 books to 50K, people have varying results, but the idea is that you have a lot of people in that group who take the self-publishing industry seriously. They're very happy to share what works, and it's a great place to build connections. Every author should be building their networks because a lot of great opportunities can come your way as you get to know more people. So whether you are in groups on social media or you are starting a podcast where you get to have conversations with authors, make sure you are building that network and then doing cross-promotional opportunities. You promote their book when their book launches, and then they promote your book in return. The fourth way to boost your book sales is to run ads, Amazon ads, Facebook ads, and other ads that you experiment with and work for you. Now, you want to be careful with the ads because if you're spending $3 to sell a $3 book, you're not making the whole $3 on that book because Amazon takes their cut, or whoever you use to publish your books. So you want to closely monitor the ROI of your books. Ads, they just simply put you in front of more people. They don't guarantee sales. And one of the preferences I would have for running ads, and this is something that I haven't quite done yet, but it is something that I would lean towards, is doing ads for the opt-in page. So even if someone doesn't buy your book right away, you have them in your newsletter, versus if you take them to Amazon or wherever you have your book, you could get sales that way. But even if you get that sale, the person's not in your emails. You don't have a way to continue interacting with them unless you have call to actions in your book and you hope people take action on those, or you just hope that people read the book. They instinctively decide, I'm going to buy the other books from this author. And that works especially well if you have a book series versus books that aren't as well connected. But you want to think about the ROI you're making from your ad. There is more ROI potential if you are growing your email list because there's so many more directions you can take the conversation if you get someone on your email list versus if they are buying your book on Amazon. So that is why I would have a preference towards promoting the opt-in page where you're giving the first chapter to 3 for free. The final strategy that we're going to share for getting more book sales is to run discounts across your entire book catalog. You could do it with every single book, or you could do it with a few books, especially if you have several books already, because it's going to be harder to sell 20 books that are all on discount versus a solid promotion on 5 books that are on discount. Any discount puts you in a better position to increase sales. But if you space out the discounts, so you have 3 books discounted in this time frame, then you have another 3 books discounted a little bit later, you're able to spread the discounts and always generate awareness for your books. Now, if you do too many discounts, people will just wait for the discount, not buy at the full price, and not take that full price seriously. They'll just wait for discounts. So you don't want to do it too many times and make your discounting schedule too predictable. However, you do have a good amount of time to run discounts throughout the year. Amazon's Select program, they have 90 days before it auto renews, assuming you're in that. So you can run a discount for any books every 90 days. And if you have 10 books, then you could pick 3 within one time frame, 3 within another time frame, and use the other 4 in a third time frame, and do this all in 90-day segments. So you could run a lot of discounts for your books at the same time. It's a good way to prop up books that aren't doing as well. This wouldn't make as much sense for a new release versus one of your books that is the starter to a series, and you want more readers for book 1 of your series, because then if people read it and they like it, they're going to get hooked onto the rest of your series, especially if they have Kindle Unlimited, because then it doesn't cost them any extra to read your books, but you still make extra revenue from how many pages people read through Kindle Unlimited. Those 5 strategies will help you get more sales for your book. Let me know which one was your favorite and what has been working for you to get sales for your books. I always love to hear from you guys in the comments. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.